Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about something simple, but very powerful for your English fluency. We'll explore the difference between three words that almost every learner uses, but very few truly understand. Those words are complete, finish, and end. Now, at first, these words may feel the same. You might think, well, they all mean something is done. And yes, that's partly true. But here's the interesting part. In real English, these words are not interchangeable. Each one has its own specific meaning, its own tone, and its own situation where it sounds natural. So if you really want to sound fluent, confident, and natural, you need to understand the difference. Let's break it down, step by step. First, let's talk about complete. When we use the word complete, we are talking about something being whole. Not just done, but fully done, nothing missing, nothing left out, everything included. So when you say complete, you're focusing on perfection and fullness. Let me make that clearer with some examples. I have completed my assignment. She completed the application form correctly. They completed the construction of the building last year. Please complete all the questions before submitting the test. He finally completed his degree after years of hard work. Now notice something important here. In all these examples, the idea is not just done. It's done properly, with everything included. So remember this, when you want to express wholeness, accuracy, or all requirements fulfilled, use the word complete. Now, let's move on to finish. The word finish is slightly different. Here, we're not focusing on perfection, we're focusing on the action coming to a stop. In simple words, you started something, you worked on it, and now, you're done with it. That's finish. Let's look at some examples. I finished my homework early today. She finished reading the book in one day. They finished eating dinner and left the restaurant. He finished his work before the deadline. We finished watching the movie last night. Now here's the key idea. When you use finish, you're not thinking about perfection. You're simply saying, the activity is over. That's it. So remember, use finish when you're talking about activities, actions, or tasks that come to an end. And now, the word end. This one is a little different from both complete and finish. The word end is not really about effort. It's about a final point, a stopping point, a conclusion. We usually use end for things like events, time periods, or experiences. Let's look at some examples. The movie ended at midnight. The meeting ended earlier than expected. Their friendship ended after the argument. The year is coming to an end. The story ended with a happy conclusion. Now notice something again. We're not talking about effort here. We're not talking about tasks. We're simply saying, this has reached its final point. That's the idea of end. Now let's bring it all together. Here's a simple way to understand the difference. Complete is about wholeness. Finish is about stopping an action. End is about a final point in time or event. Let's compare them side by side. I completed the project. Right pointing arrow, everything is done perfectly, nothing missing. I finished the project. Right pointing arrow, I stopped working on it. It's done. The project ended yesterday. Right pointing arrow, the timeline or event is over. See the difference? Small change in words, but a big change in meaning. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes. This is where many learners get confused. For example, instead of saying, I ended my homework, that sounds unnatural. A better sentence would be, I finished my homework. Another one, the movie finished at 9 p.m. It's not wrong, but it's not the best choice. A more natural sentence is, the movie ended at 9 p.m. And one more, I finished the form. That's understandable, but a stronger, more accurate sentence is, I completed the form, because forms require all parts to be filled. Here's a quick fluency tip. If you ever feel confused, just remember this simple trick. If you're thinking about perfection or completeness, right pointing arrow, say complete. If you're thinking about stopping an activity, right pointing arrow, say finish. If you're thinking about a final point or conclusion, right pointing arrow, say end. Conclusion. So, let's wrap this up. Complete, finish, and end may look similar, but they are not the same. Each word adds a different meaning to your sentence. Complete gives the idea of wholeness. Finish gives the idea of an action being done. End gives the idea of a conclusion or final point. And when you start using them correctly, your English instantly sounds more natural, more fluent, and more advanced. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.